Close your eyes. Imagine the most impossibly blue water you've ever seen. Now double it. That's Okinawa. Japan's tropical paradise, a chain of over 150 islands stretching across the East China Sea, where ancient Ryukyu kingdoms built castles, coral reefs stretch for miles, and the oldest people on Earth sip turmeric tea in the morning sun. Today we're counting down the top 10 spots you absolutely must see in Okinawa. And I promise you, number 1 will take your breath away. Number 10 is where most Okinawa adventures begin, Kokusai Street in Naha. This 1-mile stretch of neon signs, Shisa lion statues, Beniyamo tart shops, and Awamori distilleries is chaotic, vibrant, and completely intoxicating. But here's the thing most tourists miss entirely. Duck off the main street into the Makishi public market downstairs, where the smell of fresh sea urchin and the sound of vendors shouting at each other will hit you like a wave. Secret tip, go in the evening when the street lights up, grab a cold Orion beer, and let Naha pull you in every direction. This city doesn't sleep, and neither will you. Number 9 is where the ocean becomes a painting. Cape Manzamo, on Okinawa's west coast, is a dramatic limestone cliff that juts out into the East China Sea like the prow of a ship. The famous elephant trunk rock formation frames the turquoise water below in a way that genuinely makes you stop walking and just stare. Come at golden hour, the last 40 minutes before sunset, when the white limestone cliffs turn amber and the sea shifts from turquoise to deep cobalt. It lasts maybe 20 minutes and it is absolutely worth every moment. The wind-up here is fierce and cold and wonderful, and it will remind you that you are standing at the very edge of Japan. Number 8 is the most visited attraction in all of Okinawa, and for very good reason. The Churaumi Aquarium sits inside Ocean Expo Park and houses one of the largest aquarium tanks on Earth. But statistics don't prepare you for the reality, standing in front of that floor-to-ceiling glass wall as a 15-meter whale shark glides silently past you just inches away. You feel genuinely small. Children press their hands against the glass. Adults forget to breathe. Secret tip, book the first entry slot of the day at 9 a.m. when the crowds haven't arrived yet. The whale shark tank at 9 a.m. with almost no one else around is one of the most peaceful and surreal experiences in Japan. Number 7 is where Okinawa gets romantic. Kouri Island is a tiny island connected to the main island by a 3-kilometer bridge, and the drive across it alone is worth the trip, with translucent turquoise water stretching to the horizon on both sides. The island is famous for 2 heart-shaped rocks on the beach called Heart Rocks, but I'd argue that's actually the least interesting thing here. Walk the island's perimeter trail at low tide, rent a kayak into the hidden coves, and have lunch at a tiny shack serving fresh sea grapes, yuamabudu, straight from the ocean. This is Okinawa at its most effortlessly beautiful. Number 6 transports you 500 years back in time. Shuri Castle, the heart of the Ryukyu kingdom for centuries, was a sophisticated civilization that traded with China, Japan, and Southeast Asia simultaneously. The castle's architecture is unlike anything else in Japan. Chinese-influenced red lacquerware and golden roof tiles against Okinawan limestone walls. The main hall is painted in the richest vermilion red you've ever seen indoors. Secret tip, visit early morning before the tour groups arrive. Stand in the courtyard, look out over Naha below, and try to imagine what this place looked like at its peak, because it was one of the most magnificent buildings in all of East Asia. We are in the top 5. Number 5 is where you go to lose yourself completely. The Kerama Islands, a protected national park just 40 minutes by high-speed ferry from Naha, contain what marine biologists call Kerama blue, a shade of ocean water so intensely vivid that it has been scientifically documented as one of the clearest on Earth. Visibility underwater reaches 30 meters on a calm day. Sea turtles glide beneath you as you snorkel. Humpback whales winter here from January to March. The islands themselves are tiny. Zamami Island has fewer than 700 residents, and there are no traffic lights, no convenience store chains, no noise. Just coral, turtles, and that impossible blue. Number 4 has a beach that travel writers have called the most beautiful in all of Asia, and having stood on it myself, I completely understand why. Yanahamihama Beach on Miyako Island stretches for 7 kilometers of powdery white sand so fine it squeaks when you walk on it, and the water is so shallow and clear that the bottom is visible for 200 meters offshore. But Miyako's real secret is that it has 3 distinct islands connected by bridges, each with completely different landscapes, limestone caves on one end, mangroves on another, world-class dive sites in the middle. This is Okinawa's most complete island experience, and it still somehow feels off the tourist trail. At number 3 we reach the outer islands of the Yaeyama archipelago, where Okinawa becomes something else entirely. Ishigaki Island is the gateway, and its Kabira Bay is one of those places that will live in your memory forever. The bay is a sheltered lagoon of emerald green water surrounded by small forested islets, and the color, caused by the particular combination of coral, depth, and light, is unlike anywhere else on Earth. Swimming is actually prohibited in Kabira Bay, which means the coral has been perfectly preserved for decades. Glass-bottom boat tours take you directly over the reef, and looking down through that glass at an undisturbed world of coral and fish, that is something else. Number 2 is the most perfectly preserved place in all of Japan. Taketomi Island, 15 minutes by ferry from Ishigaki, looks exactly as it did 100 years ago. The entire island has been designated a National Preservation District, every house built in traditional Ryukyu style with red clay roof tiles, white sand lanes between the walls, bougainvillea spilling over every gate. Buffalo carts pull you slowly through the lanes while the driver sings traditional Sanshin folk songs. There are no cars, no high-rises, no chain restaurants, just the sound of wind through sugarcane and the occasional bell from a roaming goat. In a world that feels increasingly identical everywhere you go, Taketomi Island feels like a miracle. And here it is. Number 1. The place that even most Japanese people have never heard of. Hateruma Island, the southernmost inhabited island in Japan, closer to Taiwan than to Tokyo, is where the world runs out. Population, 400. Amenities, almost none. Beaches, 3, each more perfect than the last. And then there is the sky. Because Hateruma Island has almost zero light pollution, the Milky Way here is not a faint smear, it is a wall of stars. Every summer, astronomers and photographers travel here just to lie on Nishi Beach at midnight and look up at a galaxy they've never properly seen before. There is no flight to Hateruma. You take a high-speed boat from Ishigaki that bounces so hard across the waves that half the passengers need a paper bag. And when you arrive, when you see that beach, breathe that air, and look up at those stars, every second of the journey dissolves. This is Okinawa's greatest secret. And now you know. Okinawa. Where Japan meets the tropics, where ancient kingdoms left their mark in red lacquer and coral stone, and where the ocean is so beautiful it almost isn't fair. Which island are you booking first? Drop it in the comments, I want to know. If this video made you want to pack your bags tonight, hit like and subscribe, more Japan content every week. I'll see you in the next one.